This week we're going to begin something a little bit different than our normal routine. We're going to be looking at this little project we're going to be doing, which you guys will have plenty of time to accomplish. And so we're going to be looking at this Word document to kind of go through and set the stage for what you will be doing. So first off, our intro. Let us imagine that it is 15 years in the future. All right, you've graduated high school. You've accomplished whatever you wanted to after high school. So it's 15 years in the future. You have settled down in a new area after securing your dream career. So whatever your dream job is, you've just achieved it. Whether it's being a professional athlete, whether it's being a world-renowned surgeon, or whether it's being a mechanic, maybe it's becoming a farmer, maybe, heck, maybe you became a professional video game player. Who knows? You achieved your dream career. Now, your new house is in a lovely area and all seems well. And then a community meeting has been called to discuss a proposal by the local energy company. The local energy company has decided to build a new renewable energy plant in your neighborhood. Now, this cannot be altered, but they are giving the community an opportunity to decide on what type of renewable energy source they would like to see installed in their community. So if you think back to those renewable energy sources we've talked about, they're asking your option of the community, which one you guys would like to have. Now, the community has decided to divide the labor and have members of the community research a different source of renewable energy and to present their findings to the community so that a choice can be made. They have asked you to choose one source of renewable energy, research the pros and cons on it, and make your recommendation on whether it should be the option the community chooses. So, what you guys are going to be doing is you are going to be researching a renewable energy source. You're going to be finding the pros and cons of it and deciding whether your community would actually want that if a source or an energy source was to be built in your neighborhood. So let's look at your format for how you're going to be presenting this. So you can choose one of the following as a format for presenting your findings to the community. You could choose a typical PowerPoint. You could do a Google slide, or you could do a paper essay style. Okay. Now, if you do choose like a PowerPoint or a Google Slides, I'm not expecting you to create a video for it. I'm not expecting you to present it. I'm more expecting you to create a presentation that if we were in class, you would present to the class, but obviously you can't present to the class. So create it like you would be about to. Right? So you could choose PowerPoint, you could choose Google Slides, you could do a paper essay, so more of like an essay format. If you have another alternate format in mind, you do need to get permission to do that. So email me if you have an idea of some other way that you would like to present your research on this. Now, the community has decided that if you have a means of communicating virtually with someone else in your neighborhood, aka someone else in one of my ICP classes, then you may join forces on this project. So if you have a friend that's currently taking ICP with me as well, you guys can team up and do this project together. As long as you're not meeting in person, you're doing all the stuff virtually. So if you contact them, you text them, you snap them. If you want to work together, that is fine. If you'd rather work by yourself, that is fine. So when you create your presentation, your community members, so remember you're trying to present to community members about this energy source that's going to be built in your neighborhood. They're looking for the following in your presentation: an intro. So in the intro, we're looking at what source did you look into and why did you decide to look into that source. You need a body. Now in the body, there are going to be 3 different sections or 3 different paragraphs of your body. First off, what are the pros of this energy source? Okay, so what are the benefits? What are the positive aspects of it? Second paragraph of the body, or second part of the body presentation, is the cons. So what are the negative aspects of using this? Not as efficient. Maybe there's some type of pollution that you wouldn't necessarily think about. So what type of negative aspects would this energy source have if it was built in the community? And the third part of your body, so the third paragraph, the third section of your presentation, is your recommendation. Would you recommend this as a source of energy to be built in your neighborhood if a energy source has to be built? Okay, so we're under the assumption that the energy plant or the energy company is absolutely building a source of energy in your neighborhood. So would you recommend this to be your renewable energy source to be built? Okay, so that's going to be your third body paragraph. Now, your community members are also looking in your presentation for images of what you selected. So what renewable energy source you chose, what some images of that may look like. So yes, some sources of energy may be pretty good, but if they look really bad, not everyone in the community might be on board for that. So include images of what they could look like. And just because you choose one source does not necessarily mean they all look the same when they're built. Solar plants are a good example of that. You will find a variety of different looking solar plants that produce energy and electricity. So provide multiple pictures, okay? Incorporate them into your slides, incorporate them into your paper if you're doing the paper. That takes you to your conclusion part. So the last part of your presentation. So wrap up statements. So kind of summarize a few things, main things from your presentation, and then repeat your recommendation, and then kind of conclude your presentation in some format. Also, do make sure to include your sources. I prefer to see at least 2 sources here. Okay, so make sure you include 2 sources at a minimum as part of your research. Now, some of you guys may be thinking this is kind of a lot, but I'm not expecting you to finish this today. Okay, I've created a timeline of what I expected to be done each day. And so let's look at what I expect you to accomplish today. So first off, today, I expect you to choose your energy source. So which type of renewable energy that we talked about last week you wish to research, and decide which format for your presentation. On top of that, if you do decide to work with someone, you need to be contacting them and confirm that with them by the end of today. I also suggest that you at least get your intro of your presentation done. If you get that done today, you are on a good track to make sure that you're getting everything done for this. So that's today. Tomorrow, what I expect you to do is to start researching some pros of your energy source. Okay, and once you've researched some positive aspects, create the positive portion of your presentation, and then do the same for the cons or the negatives of your energy source, and create that in your presentation. Okay, so if you do what you're supposed to today and you do that stuff on Thursday, you got probably 60% of your presentation already done. Now, that takes us to Friday. Friday, I want you to decide on your recommendation to the community. Yes, I want to recommend this energy source to be built in our community, or no, I do not. And give your reasoning and make sure you're using good reasoning for that. And then create that section in the presentation. So that is Friday. And then next Wednesday, finish up by creating your conclusion section. Add some images if you have not already. Add images, add your sources, and then submit via Canvas or email. So if you look at this, I'm not overwhelming you on any of these days. If you just do what is suggested in the timeline, you will be perfectly fine. And so you have today, Thursday, Friday. Those are technical days. You can use the weekend, do some more work on it. You can do Monday, Tuesday, do a little bit of work, Wednesday. So you have 8 days to get this accomplished, which is more than enough. All right. So in addition to each of these days, there will be a 1 to 3 question assignment on Canvas just to kind of check up, are you doing and getting accomplished today's task for the timeline. So like for today, Once you have chose your energy source and decide which format, you'll go on to Canvas. There'll be a few questions. You answer those. These should be extremely easy assignments just to make sure you're on task, and they will give you some points as well. For example, tomorrow's Canvas assignment, once you've accomplished this, you go onto Canvas, you open up the assignment, it will literally ask you, did you accomplish the pros section of your presentation? Did you accomplish the cons section of your presentation? If you select yes on both of those, you'll get 100% on tomorrow's assignment. All right, so it's just my way of checking in to make sure you guys are staying on task and accomplishing what needs to be done. And also on top of that, there will be your attendance for each of those days. If we come down here, this is my syllabus on how I will be grading your presentation. So your intro slide, your intro paragraph, I'm going to be looking for, did you state the energy source you did your research? Did you say who created this presentation? In other words, your names. So if you did it by yourself, your name. If you were working virtually with someone else, you put both your names. Why did you choose this energy source? So what made you choose that source? Whoa, what just happened? Let's come back down here. Okay, so then in your body, there's going to be 3 sections to your body, the pros, and then did you go a little more in detail? So it didn't just say, oh, it's renewable, it's clean. Go a little more in detail. Same with your disadvantages of your energy source. Over here, you see how many points each of those sections is worth. The third part of your body, recommendation. Did you recommend whether your community should build it or not? Did you give reasoning for it? And was your reasoning logical? Okay. Also, did you have images mixed throughout? So don't just put all of your images on one part. Mix them throughout your presentation, whether it's your paper or your PowerPoint slide. And finally, your conclusion, what I'm looking for, and then your sources as well. Okay, this will be for a total of 45 points. And I will put this in as a lab grade just to give us another lab grade. So that could help you guys out quite a bit. So make sure you guys are doing this. If you have questions, send me an email. I will post this document on Canvas as well. So go ahead. Today's timeline is to accomplish this here. So go ahead and start working on that, get that accomplished, and then you will be done for the day.